If you went back in time and asked a roller coaster enthusiast about what types of roller coasters Mack Rides built, they'd probably say things like their Wild Mouse and family roller coasters. You could even go as far as saying their old BOBSLED model. But if you brought up Mack Rides to a current roller coaster enthusiast, there would probably be an all-star list of their rides mentioned. Copperhead Strike, Blue Fire, Helix, Lost Gravity, Time Traveler, DC Rivals, of course, Ride to Happiness, the list goes on. Ride to Happiness is regarded as one of, if not the best roller coasters of all time, too, so that's pretty good. Heck, they're even getting into the water roller coaster business. I think it's very safe to say that Mack Rides have mastered their craft. So, in today's video, I'll be talking about Mack's rise to fame as one of the best roller coaster manufacturers and what models put them on the map. Although you may not think so, Mack Rides is a very old and family-operated company. The company was founded in 1780 when Paul Mack started a wagon building company in Waldkirch, Germany, and for a while, that was all it was. But it was much later when they actually started building roller coasters. And when they did, they were mostly mild and not very forceful roller coasters. On their website, they now have 10 roller coaster models, 5 water ride models, and 3 dark ride models. Out of their 10 major roller coaster models, there are 6 models from them that I think are the most successful, the most prominent, and just overall the most important in their history. Let's start off with an oldie but a goodie, their Wild Mouse model. There have been 31 Wild Mouse roller coasters built by them total, and they're oldies, but they're great stepping stones for younger kids. I've ridden 2 of these, Ricochet at Carowinds and Sand Serpent at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And although they aren't my favorite roller coasters in the world, I can still appreciate the lateral forces it exerts on riders, and how they're a good family coaster for the parks they occupy. Next is the Big Dipper model, which has 5 roller coasters. Most of them are actually still under construction. The Big Dipper models focus on compact layouts with a wing-style seating arrangement. The layouts include elements from strange inversions to insane airtime hills. This is definitely a strange style of roller coaster that doesn't have many additions, but it still looks to have a lot of potential to be a popular roller coaster model. There are only 2 in operation right now, however there are 3 currently under construction, and one of them is set to open at Europa Park next year. Another one of their models that put them on the map was their old BOBSLED roller coaster, which if you didn't know has no track and it's basically like you're sliding in a roller coaster train on a slide. I haven't ridden one, but that's the best way that I could describe it. It's definitely a strange roller coaster model, but if it weren't for their BOBSLED coasters, they may not have gotten to where they are today. Next is their launch coasters. I've had the big pleasure of riding Copperhead Strike, which felt like a less intense but still absolutely outstanding Maverick, and I think that really is the goal for these coasters. Many people like to roast their launches for being forceless, and while they aren't SNS or Intamin, they're their own thing, and I find Copperhead Strike's launches to be awesome. These rides can focus on hang time, air time, any force you can think of, they've got it. This is probably one of, if not their most well-rounded model. Now we get into what I consider the best from Mack. First, let's talk about their hyper/mega coasters. The most notable of these are DC Rivals in Australia, which has the back row facing backwards and is known for its insane layout, and Project Exodus, which is under construction at Thorpe Park. These look like smooth, intense, and airtime-filled rides that could pack a major punch. I wouldn't be surprised if Mack gets into building gigas if theme parks would go for them. Finally, the last model that I'll be covering from Mack is obviously their XTREME spinner model. There's only 2 of these, but each of them look absolutely wild. Mack had a normal spinner model, which I didn't cover in this video, but it was mostly for family-friendly thrills. The XTREME spinner model is anything but. The prototype of this coaster is already elite, but the most recent edition, Ride to Happiness by Tomorrowland at BOBSLED Japan, has either topped the enthusiast's bucket list or the top of the enthusiast's favorite roller coaster list. This coaster is objectively amazing, incorporating almost -2 forces of airtime, disorienting inversions, punchy launches, all while uncontrollably spinning, hence the model name, XTREME Spinner. Anyways, the fact that Mack Rides went from building wagons to absolutely insane rides in a little under 250 years, their history is probably one of the biggest reasons why their company is one of the most influential manufacturers of roller coasters. It's safe to say that they've grown as a company just as much in 30 years as they have in their 200+ year history. Their coasters have changed so much and their improvement has really shown. But anyways, that's about all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.